Shit. Hey, y'all. I'm trying to get this fucking angle right when I'm sitting in this goddamn car. Oh, wait. I should fall a couple times. Just bear with me. Fuck it. Alright. Hey, y'all. How's everybody doing? Good, I hope. I am at the motherfucking DMV doing paperwork for this car that I bought. I didn't wind up financing. Okay, so remember last time I talked to y'all, I was like, oh, I got this car. I'm about to go pick it up there and do a tire, blah, 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 blah. The motherfuckers just never called me back, right? And I was going to try to, like, pursue it and call and say, hey, what's going on with the car and blah, blah, blah. But something just told me not to. And, you know, why the fuck wouldn't they call me back? You know what I mean? We had already agreed that I was going to purchase it. So, anyway, that was Bootsy. And then I wound up going and hollering at Eric. But the options that I had with him were just not reasonable for my financial situation at the moment. So, that didn't happen. And so, last night, I was just, or yesterday morning, I was just laying in the bed, doing something shit. I don't know. I had just got finished sucking dick, to be honest. Anyway, some dude just messaged me on Facebook, and he's like, hey, I got a car for sale. Well, actually, it wasn't even a message. It was like a video of him showing the car and test driving it, and he said he sent it to 10 people, and everybody was just like, oh, I didn't get it, and I was the only one that got it. And, I mean, just immediately, I just called the nigga back and was like, I got the money right now. I'm about to come pick this motherfucker up. I didn't really even give a fuck about a lot of things, but I think I made an okay decision. It's a Dodge Magnum. Y'all want to see it? Or no? I'm at the DMV, and it's a lot of weirdos over here. I swear to God, people keep on walking on. I'm sitting in the passenger seat of my own vehicle, but this is the breakdown. It's pretty clean. He said it used to be like a rental car. So I paid for it cash, right? So I don't have a car note anymore, which is great because I haven't not had a car note ever. So that's Bootsy. But anyway. It's a funky ass hatchback. Like I'm somebody's soccer mama or something. But that's cool, huh? It'll do. It's just enough for now, and we'll see what happens in the future. I'm really excited that I don't have no car note, and I'm about to have a pink slip this month. Y'all check me out. It's in a little outfit, a little school girl. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. I'm all on some other shit, huh? Okay, so again, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm sorry I haven't seen y'all in a couple of days. I had went and got some new furniture, not like furniture, but like items for my bedroom. Like I had to buy a bigger bed because when Michael stays over, I sleep on the wall because I had a full-size bed. It was just me, but I bought a king-size bed, which was pretty dope. I had bought some stuff for the kids' room, a dresser. I gave them my old bed, and then also like redid my bathroom, like all the rugs and the shower curtains and the decorations and stuff like that. So it took me a while to get all that shit done because I had to hang TVs on the wall. Oh yeah, and then I had bought a fish tank, I told you guys, so I got that all set up. I hung our TVs on the wall, rearranged my room, put a clock up. I'm going to show you guys this clock when I get back. It's a really nice clock that I got on Amazon, and I just hooked it up because all the stuff that was there previously was stuff that was bought by Tommy. I haven't even gotten to that story yet, y'all, but so yeah, I just wanted to redo all that shit. I did keep the kitchen table though, I ain't gonna lie. All I need is a couch now, and I think I ordered one, but I also think I got scammed because it ain't here and it ain't shipped and nobody's returning my calls or my nothing, and it was $15 on one of them little sites on here on Facebook, like one of them fucking boneless chicken wing couches or whatever the fuck. But I told myself already if I was gonna get scammed, I wouldn't be mad about it. It's only $15. But anyway, other than that, everything's been going really well. Shit, just been doing what I do. So since I got a few minutes, because I literally have 81 people ahead of me at the DMV on Broadway here, I should have just went to the disabled line and just said I was disabled. They'll never ask why anyway. And I look retarded, so, or I can look retarded. All right, so I guess I'm just gonna kind of go off into this, like the subject of what happened when I was living over there in that garage. Okay, so just to kind of recap, the divorce was in November, right? Keon left. I stayed in that apartment until May. I was able to stay there because I was like, I was fighting the eviction, basically. Like I was appealing everything. I was going to all the court dates. I was filing motions for them to, you know, just kind of prolonging it as much as I possibly could. I knew I wasn't going to win because I legit wasn't paying my rent, but I legit couldn't. So, I mean, I just was taking care of my car note and kind of just doing whatever at that point. So, I knew that the day was going to come, right? And so, again, I didn't know where I was going to live. I had 4 months to figure it out, and I couldn't find no place. At first I was doing too much, probably like putting extra income that I didn't really have and trying to just like overdo it, and I didn't know how to like navigate that shit that well. But anyway, so that was fucking me up. And then also my income, like I just really didn't have like hella money like that at the time, so I just wasn't able to really afford nothing. But again, so I wasn't able to find nothing until the day before. The sheriff came and knocked on my door. Then he handed me a notice, and he was like, you got this amount of days to get out. When we come back, you know, we'll lock this motherfucker up, and whatever you ain't got in here, you know, you're just gonna have to be ass out. So that was that. I was totally prepared to sleep in my car. Like the night before I had to move out, you know, I didn't even pack shit. I just left everything was just frivolously just sitting there, and Keon was gonna take the kids, and they were gonna go stay with him, you know, until I figured it out. So I'm just in my room, you know, just looking at the ceiling pretty much, and then I go on, because all I was doing was going on like Craigslist, Zillow, whatever. I went on my email, and I had some email from this place called, like Spare Room or Rent a Room or something like that. A website I had never heard of before, but somehow they got my email just for me doing like, you know, visits through the other websites, okay? So I looked on that motherfucking website, and there was a lady renting out, again, a garage conversion. She wasn't renting out a room. Well, she was advertising it as a room, but it was really like your own little area or whatever. Like it wasn't nothing fancy, girl. And I'm gonna tell you how not fancy it is. And I'm not trying to talk about nobody, but I'm just telling the truth. So we just that's just that. So anyway, again, I reached out to her. She let me move in with $200. I was able to get 211 to help me with my deposit in my first month's rent. I was able to move in there, and me and my kids had a place to stay, right? Her name was Marisol. She lived on the property in her main house that she's lived there for 20 years. And then she rented out the garage conversion to me. There was someone next door to me. Like, maybe she split the garage in half, if I had to guess. So there was another gentleman on the side of me. And then there was like several other like tenants on her property. It was a lot of shit going on that motherfucking property. So anyhow, though I am not a bougie individual at all, I have never lived anywhere with roaches. Okay, so, oh God, what an experience, guys. I'm gonna tell you like this, and I ain't scared of nothing really, but I'm scared of roaches. Roaches are fucking weird, and they just are disgusting, and for some reason, I just believe that people associate them with filth, you know what I mean? And I'm definitely not a filthy person, so that was something that I struggled with. There was roaches all over that motherfucker when I moved in there. And, you know, knowing what I know now about her house, you know, they came from where she lives, you know what I mean? She is not a very clean individual, which a lot of people, you know what, a lot of people don't keep their house clean, and I'm gonna just keep it real. That don't mean you should have that many goddamn motherfucking whole ass roaches. It don't make no motherfucking sense. But anyway, luckily, my dad taught me about the boric acid. Like, hey, boo. Hi, Stephanie. Happy Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, goddamn. Tequila taco. I don't know what day it is. I ain't been asleep in Anyway, so, the roaches, right? Okay, so that was one thing that I had to get used to, right? Like I said, my dad gave me this recipe, boric acid, and, yeah, boric acid. You put it all around the cracks of the doors and in your closet. I mean, in your cabinets and shit like that. And that'll help to keep them away, right? So I did that. I bombed. There was also an exterminator that came and sprayed around the unit, right? So that worked for about maybe like 3 months, right? So not only was there roaches, and I'm just kind of going back and forth with different things that happened over there, but it's on 50th Street. Like, if you know anything about 50th and like 24th, it's a big ass field over there, like where the light rail is. So she lives on a dead end street with a big ass field. And so I knew nothing about no goddamn motherfucking whole ass field mice or whatever, field rats, field motherfucking puppies. Okay, so the outside of the unit wasn't sealed properly, so there was rats getting in the size of this big, like the size of like little tiny ass puppies. I'm not even shitting you, okay? So that was happening, scared the shit out of me, scared my kids. There was also a fly situation, like there's some kind of like breeding ground, and I ain't even trying to be funny. And them flies is hella ghetto and on that side of town for some reason. They don't get away with this shit. They just keep on coming back. But anyway, there was like some kind of infestation. Like, I don't know if you guys ever seen those movies like where you open the window and there's a quadrillion flies right there and it's like creepy, and that like Exorcist or something. That was going on, okay? And so that was happening, and there was also a lot of riffraff, I guess. Like, they had a lot of parties, and somebody was always fighting. Somebody pulled a gun on somebody. Somebody was shooting. Somebody was doing this. Somebody was doing that. It was always a lot of bullshit going on over there, right? Nothing that I ever got involved in. I don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing. This is just all I heard. This is what I heard, okay? So, to kind of like save face or whatever, because it's just a lot of drama that really happened over there, I'm just going to tell you the main thing that, like, basically you know, well, two main things. How I moved out, and then like the situation that happened with what was that, Homeland Security, right? So one morning I was on a date, actually. I had met this dude on Facebook dating. His name was Denzel or Donzel, whatever. Anyway, the first time I ever met the nigga, brought him over, we was kicking it, right? And so I'm like, okay, we about to, you know, we've been drinking and all type of shit. I don't even drink. I had a couple shots of Hennessy with the nigga. I'm like, we finna do it. You know what I mean? Of course we finna do it, nigga. What the fuck you think you over here for? This nigga started acting hella weird, right? Hella weird. Not only was he talking about put on a condom to suck his dick, the nigga was trying to act like he wasn't finna give me no dick anyway, right? He was just asking hella questions and acting hella weird. You know what I mean? I don't play that shit about. Nigga, first of all, I ain't never sucked no dick with no condom on. And the day I do, honey, call the police. Call some motherfucking body. Call my mama. Because that is ridiculous. Who does that? Not no black people. I mean, I don't think. Anybody on there ever sucked dick with a condom on? Thank you. I don't even want to hear it. I know you ain't. Because that's just ridiculous. So anyway, not only was he doing that, he was just acting hella weird. Then he started like singing to himself. So, okay. I was about to leave his ass at my apartment or at the unit, and I was going to go to the casino, right? It was 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, it was about to be 6 o'clock in the morning. It was like 5 something. All of a sudden, I hear like boom, 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 right? I'm like, what the fuck is that? I ain't never heard no shit like that. So, of course, I'm going outside to go see what it is. It sounds like it's a motherfucking war going on. All I hear is residents at 2801. Everybody come out, put your hands up. Everybody come out, put your hands up. So, again, I'm the first one that walk out there. Immediately, they got this green laser beam on my forehead. Put your hands up. Turn around. Don't look at us. Blah, 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 blah. So, okay. That happens. Basically, they pull everybody off at the property, everybody out of the units. Everybody's in the middle of the street handcuffed. We're all, you know, sitting down, including my guest, Don Zelly. And we're all just basically waiting. You know what I mean? We're waiting to see what's going on. They bring me a picture of the gentleman that they were looking for, which is the guy that lives right next door to me, Javier. They're like, have you ever seen him before? I'm like, absolutely not. Never seen him in my life. They're like, well, you live right next door to him. How haven't you never seen him? And I'm like, well, nigga, I go to work and come home. I've never seen him. You know what I mean? Well, you know, he kind of started going on and on and on. And I said, sir, look at all these people on this property. Aren't all of them named Javier? You know what I mean? White people love those kind of jokes, especially cops, when you make racist jokes. I knew what I was doing. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Some of them people I've never seen before in my life. But the whole point of that was I was just trying to get, nigga, I don't know shit. You know what I mean? Don't ask me shit so I have to put my initials on a fucking picture and say, oh, yeah, I identified him. No, I would never do that. I don't play that shit. Never would I, never. I don't know nothing. So anyway, eventually, they told me they was going to tear my shit up. They got to go in there and toss everything, right? They tossed everything. They did let me leave eventually. You know, I gave everybody water, told the cop he had a nice ass. After I told him he had a nice ass, that's when they let me leave, which was pretty dope. So I took the nigga home, you know what I mean? Obviously, I never seen that nigga again in life, but I did apologize to him because what? Could you imagine that happening to you, going on a date with a bitch or a nigga and you chilling and first of all, the bitch acting funny, she finna leave you, you know what I mean? And after I picked him up, how you gonna get home, nigga, at 6 o'clock in the morning? He don't know, I don't know either. I figured by the time I got back from the casino, he would have been gone, you know what I mean? But anyhow, the long story short type of shit is I would have been extremely traumatized. You know what I mean? And I felt bad that happened to him, but everything happens for a reason. So it happened for a reason. You know what I mean? I don't know if the reason was for his benefit or whatever, but you just be surprised how things get, you know, orchestrated. So anyhow, that was that. Don Zelly. Turns out anyway, so Javier, of course I knew him. Of course I see him all the time. He lived literally right next door to me. He used to bring my kids tacos and shit. He was making fake money in his unit, like he had, because I went in there and cleaned up after he left. So there was printers and paper and just all kind of different like laminate machines and all kind of different like fake money. There was like fake money, I guess maybe samples or whatever. And yeah, he went to jail. He went to prison. The gentleman told me that the reason why they came so tough is because he had prior weapons charges. So they were just making sure that he wasn't armed and dangerous. You know what I mean? Whatever. So that was dope. You know what I mean? That was dope. Stephanie, I did a tour of this bitch at the very beginning of the video. So if you want to watch the beginning of the video, you can see this hatchback, baby. But anyway, so that was that. Okay, so boom. Okay, so I lost my job, right? While I was living there, you know what I mean? At the San Quentin situation, I lost my job. I was on unemployment for a little while, but I started falling behind on my car note and my rent a little bit. You know what I mean? So it got to a point where it was either or, you know what I mean? So obviously I was paying my rent, you know what I mean? So my car got repossessed. I ain't even gonna lie. I wound up getting it back, right? And then I fell behind again. And then the motherfucker got repossessed again for $60, right? So anybody that knows me knows that my car, my black Kia, was very, very important to me, okay? 72 payments. I only had 11 payments left. 11. I got that car March 5th, 2020. $538 every month I was paying on that car for 5 years. Almost 5. Well, yeah, over 5 years. I literally only had 11 payments left. And I would have owned it, right? Car is in immaculate condition. The engine had failed at 60,000 miles, right? So I had got a brand new engine at 60,000 miles. That engine only had 40,000 miles on it. Had just got some brand new struts. The tires was new. It has beat in it. I could put the push to start in it. It got an alarm on that motherfucker. I tinted the windows. All the maintenance is up to date, right? So, yes, I was devastated when my car got taken. You know what I mean? But it was another time, like when this just happened, because this happened in October, y'all. I had the money, right? And I had met this guy, Tommy. We were doing our thing or whatever, and he told me he was going to help me to get my car out, right? So this is all, I'm telling y'all this for a reason. That's technically why I don't have a car, though I didn't have a car anymore. I had put it in the shop for a little while, and then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to surrender it because that's the best thing for me. And long story short, another like point of this, that was the last thing that I had from my old life. That was Keon's name was on that car as well. You know what I mean? I was actually the co-buyer. The only reason why I had it was because he wasn't paying the note. I had been paying the note 6 months, up until we divorced. So that was the last thing of my old life. My apartment with him was gone. He's gone. You know what I mean? That life is gone. That car was the only, and I kept on telling myself, like, everything new, everything. And then I would say, no, it's at my car. It's at my car. You know what I mean? And that's not how it works. You know what I mean? In that situation, if I did pay that car off, Keon could have came and took it or whatever. Who knows what would have happened with that? But God told me, let it go. You know what I mean? Let the shit go, Kiana. And if I see you handle this well, I will bless you abundantly. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that this car is my abundantly blessing, but I ain't got no car note. And I'm about to get the title today. Well, they gonna send it to me. You feel me? I gotta pay $400 for the registration because it's a salvage title, but he told me that up front, so I'm okay with that. And I only paid $1,500 for this car. You know what I mean? When I had $3,000 to spend. So I'm winning. Okay? There you go. So anyway. Okay, so October comes around, right? I'm watching TV, I get a knock on my door in the garage. It's code enforcement, okay? They deal with his business. His business card said code enforcement, dangerous buildings, right? He's, I'm sorry to tell you this, but this is an illegal garage conversion. You know what I mean? There was no, architects contacted. There was nothing set forth, and with the city, none of the permits were granted for this to be used in this manner. You have to move in 30 days, is what the gentleman told me. He had my landlord sitting right next to him, and she's in a panic. You know what I mean? If you don't leave in 30 days, Keon, they're going to fine me $25,000. And every time they come back, it'll be another $25,000. And I looked at her like, girl, you ain't got to worry. I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean? Like, don't you worry. So that was very unexpected, right? Of course it was. I didn't expect that. I ain't got no money. Like, I'm trying to get my car out of the repo right now. You know what I mean? I had just met this guy, like I said, Tommy. I met him on Facebook dating. All the niggas I meet are on Facebook dating. Can you believe that? And I don't recommend that shit. I really don't. I mean, I lucked up with Michael, but for the most part, I'm going to go into some of the stories about that maybe one day, because I've had some experiences, y'all wouldn't even believe. You would not believe me when I tell you that I almost had to fight a nigga who asked me to lick his ass. But anyway. So, Tommy and this. Okay, so 30 days. I got 30 days, right? Tommy lived in Hayward at the time. We were kind of dating. He was coming down for the weekends, and we were kind of hanging out, whatever. So I told him the situation, you know what I mean? And he said, hey, you know what I mean? I'm going to help you find a place, right? So my friend Sequoia had recommended her apartment complex. We went over there. We went and did the application. Everything had seemed to be going well for a while. And all of a sudden, okay, so this was about 3 days after this motherfucker just came and sat right next to my car. Come on, bro, for real. Look at this. Oh, the seats in the world. Get your ass out of here. Anyway, so we're driving back from the application, from going to do the tour at Sequoia's apartments. We were driving to the bay because we had to go get his unemployment card from his mom's house that got sent to Hayward. I get a phone call from Meadow Glen Apartment Complex. When me and Keon divorced, I did an application. That was 2 years ago. At that point, I did an application for that unit in the application process that I was doing to try to find a place to live. I was on the waiting list for 2 years. She calls me 3 days after they tell me I gotta leave. Your name came out. Are you still interested in the unit? Of course I am. Of course I am, ma'am. You have no. I didn't even tell her all that, but ma'am, you have no idea what the fuck is going on right now. You know what I mean? And the timing is just unbelievable. I mean, stuff like this happens in my life all the time, but it never ceases to amaze me. You know what I mean? So, okay, over there I was paying $1,200 a month for the unit, the garage conversion. I move in with Tommy, right? I put him on the lease though, because we're trying to do this. We're gonna do a big thing. We're having babies. We're getting married. You know what I mean? I just met this nigga a month ago, but hey, fuck it. It's all good, right? Because that's just how I live my life. I mean, I really do. I mean, if it works out, it works out. And if it don't, it don't. I'm never ashamed of anything. Nothing I go through in my life brings me shame. Unless I was walking outside somewhere and like my ass was showing and I was on my period and there was blood dripping down my legs, I would be embarrassed. I would, because that's gross. But other than that, nigga, I fell the other day. Like a nigga was trying to put a chair and like move a chair and I was sitting on the chair and I fell in front of hella motherfuckers and just got up and was like, nigga, I get my car repossessed. My marriage falls apart. My kids are beautiful, but they fuck up. I mean, I'm fat. I'm shaped like a bag of potatoes in that one video. God damn! Y'all should never, ever, ever, ever do me like that again. If y'all ever see me in that red ensemble y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know y'all do. Don't do me like that. I'm really not shaped like that. I don't know why the fuck that looked like that. Just give me credit for just being fine, at least in the face, okay? But anywho, yeah, so, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's that. So, okay, wait, y'all. I lost my train of thought. Let me go back to where I was. God damn it. I don't remember. Facebook dating or whatever. Anyway. God damn it. Let me get back on track. Okay, so Tommy, okay, so he was like, okay, you got to move. You got this place. You know what I mean? We're moving in together. We're going to move in. Okay, great. So I put him on the lease, right? So this apartment complex that I live in is income based. So it's 30% of your income. At the time, I only had 2 incomes, which was child support and my son's Social Security, right? So my rent would have been like $600. You know what I mean? But I put him on, and his income, he had a job at the time, still only $990. Okay, for a 2-bedroom apartment with a washer and dryer. It's spacious. It's beautiful. It has windows. That garage didn't have no windows, y'all. No windows. It had one window in the room that was like sealed closed because of all the flies. I'm surprised I didn't literally go crazy in that motherfucker or like have an extreme depression because there was nothing to bring, the sun wasn't coming through. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense why I felt the way I felt a lot of the time. But anyhow, with windows, it's mine. I have so much peace. I have serenity. It's clean. There ain't no roaches. There ain't no flies. And there ain't no rats. And there ain't no fucking riffraff and BBLs and irritation and cat shit everywhere. And oh my God, I can go on and on and on, but I'm not going to do that because that's insulting. That's damn near gossiping. And that's not what I'm about. I'm just saying I'm relieved to be in a situation now that I can control. Cleanliness brings me peace. I have serenity and I'm doing well. You know what I mean? So that is the situation that happened there. I'm going to kind of tie this into the Tommy situation a little bit because I wanted to give him his own fucking video. But let's just say this. We moved in November 19th or 17th. He was moving out by December 10th with me calling the police and having a restraining order put on that nigga after we didn't have 3 or 4 fights. I didn't throw a knife at this nigga. We didn't have so much shit happen in that amount of time. You have no idea. And I have never in my life called the police on a nigga. Never. I'm 40 years old. I ain't never called the police on a nigga. I used to work at a prison. Niggas don't scare me at all. I'm not intimidated by many things. You know what I mean? But this nigga was crazy. I have never been in a relationship where I was like physically fighting with a nigga. I've never been in a relationship with an alcoholic. And I've never been in a relationship with somebody that has extreme trauma from something that happened to them in their past that they... Nor have I ever been in a relationship with a nigga with that good a dick. That nigga's dick was the best dick I ever had in my life. And I had never fucked with a skinny nigga ever. What? That nigga rocked my world with that. But you know what? That's because he was crazy. I should have known. But anyway, actually the second best dick. Because Michael's dick is my favorite. Because I love him. So it's always really good. He got good dick. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But the nigga Tommy was just like good with the angles and shit. And that nigga used to do some different shit. He used to... So yeah, Tommy was gone, and so it left me with my apartment. I could still afford my $990 rent by myself. I don't need him. I would have been able to get my rent lowered if I would have brought my landlord a copy of the restraining order. But during the hearing, I started having a panic attack or something, because I didn't think he was gonna be there. But when I got there, he was already there. And so when they called our name to go up there, I started feeling very uncomfortable. And I've had a panic attack before, so I knew that was happening, and it was best for me to just leave, because I already knew that he wasn't going to try to fuck with me anymore, because he's already been through this once in his life. And, he's in the Bay Area. He's back with his mama. They're going to not let him come back out here and fuck with me. You know what I mean? Because it was so public. They were involved. It was just ridiculous, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all about it one day. So yeah, that happened, and now he's gone. Now I will still pay my rent up until November, then I can recertify, and then they'll lower it or whatever. I'm never going to lose that apartment. Even if I move out, I'm going to give it to my kid or something. Who would lose that? You know what I mean? It's almost like ridiculous to even think that. I'm decorating. I'm back to feeling like good about the days. You know what I mean? I'm back to feeling normal. I'm back to feeling happy because I wasn't so happy. You know what I mean? I would say like, except, yeah, probably August. When Michael got out of prison and we wasn't together, even though we wasn't together before he went in, fucked me and then left. I didn't hear from the nigga from hella long, right? Then his birthday came, and, you know, of course, I'm like, I didn't insinuate that I wanted to spend it with him, but I was like, you know, let me know if you get some time. I didn't hear from him at all. And then he came over and fucked me again. And then I didn't hear from him again. And I was like, what? Is this where we are? You know what I mean? It just made me hella confused. And that's when I started being hella mean to him. And long story short, blah, blah, blah. Oh shit, this shit buffering. That means shut the fuck up and get up off of here and shut up. So that means I need to be quiet. Whatever I was about to say, obviously I don't need to say it. So I'm gonna just shut up. Long story short, we vibing. You know what I mean? He's been there every night. Every single night, y'all. And I hate to keep on bragging about this. I'm not even bragging. Well, maybe I am. Maybe I am bragging a little bit because this is what I really wanted. And it feels really dope. You know what I mean? And we're doing something really good for each other. And no matter what happens between us, man, no, fuck all that. Ain't gonna be no, that's gonna be my husband. I will let y'all know when the wedding is, okay? Anyway, long story short, I say that a lot, huh? Long story short, and then go on and on and on about the longest shit ever. I guess I'm gonna end this. I am supposed to have been rolling this blunt forever. I'm just sitting here chatting with y'all and just vibing with the sun. I got everything done in my apartment except for I need to put my kids' bed together. But I'm gonna wait till the weekend to do that because their dresser won't be here till Thursday and there's hella clothes all over the mattress. So they just been sleeping on the floor, really, until this weekend. Anyway, I love y'all. It's good to see y'all. I hope everyone's doing well, and I hope everyone is having a good day. The weather is so beautiful. Get outside and go do something. Take a little walk. Y'all like my little plaid skirt? I'm trying to do the little schoolgirl thing today with my little Chucky Chucks. Oh, my God, y'all. Side note. I've been taking so much dick. It's been great. That's when I put that post, like, not me getting everything I pray for. Like, nigga, I've been praying, and this is going to sound ridiculous, for consistent dick. Like, seriously, consistent dick. That's a hard thing to find. Dick is hard to find. I don't know, niggas be like, oh, pussy is hard to find. No, dick is hard to find. These niggas is not coming up off of it. And every day, you damn near can forget about it. So to get some dick every day, and the way he does it is like in sessions. Woo! Let me just tell you. Do I look good? My skin look good? I'm glowing like a motherfucker because I've been doing well. I've been doing well, y'all. And I'm happy. And it feels really, really good. So, I hope I can spread some happiness, and I hope others are happy. And I hope that you guys can understand that happiness is the best solution. Ain't worried about them comments. Happiness is the best solution for any problem. And that's all I got to say about that. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I always, you know, love to see who's coming in and what y'all gonna say and kind of like vibe with y'all a little bit. And it's kind of cool to just be able to share my experiences with y'all and y'all actually listen. You know what I mean? Y'all know that some of this shit is pretty interesting. You know what I mean? None of this shit is made up. Like, I really live this shit. I've been going through a lot of shit for the past 3 years. You know what I mean? And I'm very, 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 very grateful for it because before all this shit, I was very comfortable. And I even said that a couple times. Like, I'm super comfortable, you know what I mean, with this situation, you know what I mean. It looks good from the outside looking in, but what else is it, you know what I mean? And now that I got uncomfortable and had to be in a position where comfort wasn't even an option at some point, I'm taking it all in, the comfort. I appreciate every single moment of my happiness. I am not taking for granted not $1, because I used to be a very big frivolous spender. Not even that I got it like that, but I would just buy whatever the fuck and do whatever the fuck. Never again will I ever be in a situation that is not suited for me. Never again will I not get my way, the way I want it. And I don't know selfish shit, but this is my life. And never again will I be complacent or settle or too comfortable in any situation. I will always be looking for an opportunity to do better, improve, or move forward. And that is just that. You know what I mean? I'll always speak life over myself, and I'll never let nobody tell me otherwise. You know what I mean? I know I'm going to be rich one day. I know I'm going to live forever, and I'm always going to be fine. So, there we go. And you will too. If you want to, just say it out loud. Stop talking about whatever you want to be. Just say it. Stop saying negative things, and negative things will stop happening. You will be surprised how powerful you are. Okay. Anyway, y'all, I'm about to go. Okay? it's been real. I'm going to check my numbers, see how much more time I got to wait out here. Last time I checked, it was 71 people in front of me. So, all right. I will see y'all soon. Let me see. I'm going to just give y'all a little quick tour of where I'm at. I don't know if y'all know this area, the Broadway DMV. Sitting in the car by myself, vibing. All right, y'all. Bye.